Hello, everybody. I apologize. I was supposed to upload last week. Life got in the way. I thought I had a video ready, but it turned out that I filmed a lot for Patreon and kind of forgot about YouTube. So, this is going to be a bit of an update about many things, but it's going to be fun, I promise. Lots of tarot talk, and also show me how you practice, clearly. And it's going to be a little bit of a choppy video. I figured I should just kind of give you a heads up because in 20 minutes there's going to be tarot clients coming over for a face-to-face tarot reading. So I'm kind of like, yeah, doing this video in parts, sort of a tarot vlog, I guess. Take your coffee or cup of tea or whatever is in your cup and we can hang out for a bit, talk about cards. First of all, first little update. I had lost this crystal. I love it. It's one of those thumb holdy ones, so it feels really, really good in the hand. It's that sort of pyrite, right? It fell on the floor at some point and I had to glue it, and I had still from a previous project, aka ritual, some of that special glue, so I used it for this one, and it's back, it's whole. But it's interesting that I mean, I broke it and then later I lost it, and I found it in this mini pocket of my leather jacket. So I'm really glad I have it back, but it's kind of interesting. I'm thinking maybe this crystal doesn't really want to be in my presence. Who knows? Anyway, I love pyrite. What I really wanted to talk about today is I read my cards yesterday and I got the Seven of Cups. This is the Hoi Polloi Vintage Tarot. I got the Seven of Cups in the light position, so as positive advice, or as a positive energy in the spread. And it's interesting because I often read this card as kind of a warning, and I think it's strong that way. It means things that appear too good to be true often are not the way that they seem, right? Or there's a catch, something like that. Because you can tell with all those beautiful things coming out of the cups, actually there is a price to pay, or it's not actually this thing that we hoped to receive. But reading it as positive, well, let me share a little bit what the reading was about. My first card was this one, and I'm not going to share too much about my reading. Second card was Knight of Pentacles. I'm not going to share too much about it. It's just, spread positions. So I read the cards in context, so that changes the general meaning of the card. Interesting reading. Also, another thing that I noticed is that these two are holding a globe of some sort. So something that is worth a lot to them, right? One is to put in the ground as a seed and watch it grow, and the other one is Lord of Dominion. So holding that globe already, knowing what belongs to you, what is yours, and what you can expand upon. Sorry, my English isn't really there just yet. Bear with me. The reading, though, was about going to the open day of my old school. I am Dutch, but the reason I moved to Amsterdam as a 15-year-old kid was because I was accepted at the Academy of Dance in Amsterdam, ballet. I was a ballerina. And before that, I was also doing a pre-education, but in another city. And apart from having learned a lot, wasn't really my thing. So I decided to audition for the ballet academy and I got accepted. So my life changed from that point on. Yesterday, at time of filming, it was yesterday, I did this reading for myself before going to see the new building that this school has. I hadn't been there yet. And I knew that I was going to see some teachers that had taught me back in the day. I know it's kind of like more than 20 years ago. And even though it's a different building, it's still the same type of atmosphere. And, it actually, I went there with a friend. It was lovely, but I was kind of scared because, being an ex-dancer, and even though I'm still in the world of dance as a teacher who has her own, dance school, life just turns out differently. And I had different expectations as a kid and different dreams. That's exactly the thing. That's exactly what I want to talk about with this card. Interpreting the Seven of Cups as positive, it's actually saying it's good, it's okay, except that you, the reader, has different dreams now than you had back then. That doesn't make you a failure. That makes you a well-rounded person who stepped out of the ballet bubble. The ballet bubble in itself, yes, some things are wrong with it, but not everything is wrong with it. When when you make it and you love it, then that's great. That's your passion in life. Um, but also just being confronted with that world, and of course, some people kind of look at you in a certain way. But I'm not gonna, project my thoughts. I'm not gonna claim to know exactly all the thoughts that go through their heads when they see me. But of course, a lot of young students, young, passionate students with a dream that I once had as well. And I'm definitely not disappointed with how life turned out. I love what I do. I really, really do. Actually, when I started teaching is when I really felt, wow, I'm so passionate about this. And when I started doing tarot readings, wow, I'm so passionate about this. So, you know, life just changes you. We evolve. Um, it's okay to find different passions, different things that we love, and then some of them kind of they change. They are not the same as what they used to be. This was very interesting to me because it's kind of like as an adult, I did remove myself from the dance world. Basically, even though I never left it in my work field, I did remove myself from the people, the industry. Yes, I can safely say that. And now I go take a look at it, step back into it as an adult. So there's a lot of different feelings that come up for me. Overall, yesterday was lovely, as I probably already said. I met this teacher I really love, and it was a very warm embrace, actually happy to talk to us and asking what we've been up to. And I was able to say, I've been running this ballet studio on my own for 3 years. Every year we have an end of the year performance. It was just lovely. And I wasn't saying that to impress anyone. It's just, I feel I'm finally happy with what I do. And so anyone who asks, I'm like, this is what I do, and I'm damn proud of it. So the Seven of Cups, maybe, of course, it's a bit of a warning of you're gonna feel a little bit of the heart stings that are left behind, you know, but it's okay because your dreams have changed. And that's okay too, because you've made everything work. So I checked Book of Thoth. I know this is not the Thoth deck, but it's, similar tradition. One of the description is external splendor and internal corruption. So clearly things seem beautiful and amazing and like that's something that we want, but it's not right. It's not right for us. Maybe it's right for someone else. Interesting point. So yeah, I talk quite a bit about this on Patreon. I've talked about it throughout the years. I mean, it's really good. I feel right now like I'm back in my strength. I'm strong enough to dip my toes back into that bit of dance world, the dance industry, the dance things. I've been going to a lot of events Yeah, the good thing about this is I went back without feeling like a failure. I went back feeling that I am successful and I'm doing what I love. Back to the cups, the heart. And it's always good to analyze these things, you know. The dance world is such a specific type of, again, industry, I guess. It's a world all on its own. It's the bubble mm, that I wanted to branch out of. I wanted to grow outside of it. And I feel now that I've done that, I made my own little island. Now that I feel much more secure and just overall happy, I'm a happy person about it. I want to look at what's happening in the dance world. I want to talk to people. I want to see wonderfully talented, hardworking young dancers being accepted into the national ballet. That's, to see their dreams come true. It's very particular. Ballet is kind of a cult, a cult, but also it's so okay to love it. Mm, yeah. And it's probably always going to be a bit of a complicated relationship that I'll have with all of that. But I know that cards told me with the Seven of Cups in the positive position, I'm on the right track. This is a good thing. I went out into the world and found my actual dream, the thing that I wanted to bring into my life. All right, I'm going to prepare for the face-to-face tarot reading. Just quick plug, if by any chance you are in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, visiting or whatever, and you want a face-to-face tarot reading that actually takes the time for you and goes in depth, please find me on Instagram and send me a DM, send me an email, and I'll make time for you. It's the next day, and I want to talk about a card from a deck we haven't heard from in a while. It's having a mini revival in my world. I'm reading with it more, and a friend of mine is reading with it now too. The Wildwood. Out of all the decks, the Wildwood. But a little while ago, I posted about this card because it came up in a reading on Instagram, the 10 of Arrows. And then this particular one, it's of course the suit of air, so it's the equivalent of the 10 of Swords. And here it has the keyword instruction. And we can see the keyword and the drawing. The creator of the deck wanted to give it another spin. I realized this deck is kind of a remake of the Greenwood Tarot, but I mean, I bonded with this one, so this is the one that I have. Usually, most of us think of an image that's very similar to this one, so rather grim. Yeah? It's looking scary. Often it has a very dark black background, actually. We see death. And then if you're a Thoth reader, then the title is Ruin. So that also doesn't look very positive. However, I really do love this deck. If we deconstruct the suit and the number, end a new beginning, so end of a chapter, but with that something new is starting. Air, it's about the mind. So what do we do with the mind, right? Okay, we communicate. It's the element that goes from the neck up. So we have our voice, how we communicate. We have the brain, our perception, our truth, and the plans that we make, and then also probably the knowledge we acquire, how we learn. It's starting to sound like instruction is pretty good. I'm getting all of this deconstructing of the element or the suit and the number from traditional Marseille, because here it's really quite free and open to interpretation. And so I kind of feel it makes sense, actually. Why wouldn't 10 of Swords? be instruction. I'm going to tell you why. It's because we are so used to decks doing this. Whereas, okay, maybe in the Tree of Life and, astrologically, it's not a good card. But what if you get that card in a positive position? That's how I read the tarot. I read it, as I said in the first part, in context. So when it's supposed to be something positive and I get a negative looking card, I'm not going to ignore the negative. You've seen me do that in the Seven of Cups. I didn't ignore that. I usually read it as a warning. This would probably actually be, yes, I am learning something. And it might sting a little bit. It might be a harsh lesson, because we're not glossing over the difficult parts. The swords, they are weapons. They do sting. We do have the association with war. And actually, arrows have the same association because arrows also are used in battle. But to finish my previous thought, then we can accept also that Ten of Swords is not a negative card. It does have a negative impact looking at Thoth and Smith-Waite. And I think Ten of Swords, even in Marseille, I would, because I read as a kind of all the systems that I know put together. So I still would include the negative part of it, as I said, but still, it makes sense to me to see this as a lesson learned or instruction. And often, even looking at this card, I'm seeing it as an old belief system dying out, because this here I believe to be the Hierophant because of the hand sign that he does. And this, to me at least, means truth. So this is an old truth, probably an old self-image that is ending. That's no longer part of our belief system. We no longer think this. And therefore, we are headed towards the next chapter, the next suit. Ten of Swords, the end of an old belief system. The end of an old belief system then also means that now there's room to learn something new. I know in the Wildwood, the creators really tried to do something different. It's often feeling more like an oracle than a tarot deck, but still I find it very valuable, and maybe we should talk about it in the next video. Well, that's really all I wanted to add in this segment of the vlog. Thank you so much for being here, for listening, and to circle back, please let me know how you would read this challenging card as something positive. And also, if you experience the same thing, I'm pretty curious about this, like something that you were so passionate about during childhood and teenage years, and then now as an adult, having done something different with your life, what is that like to look back or step back into it? I'm not sure anything is as particular as the world of ballet and dance in general, but let me know. Let me know in the comments. And you know what? I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.